Hi guys, Anime Box back for another unboxing! And today we have this awesome Mikasa Figma, and I would like to thank Lunar Toys for supplying this for me to review for you guys. If you would like to pick up a Mikasa Figma for yourself, you can head on over to their web shop, and I will leave a link in the description to where you can get that. So without further ado, let's get on with the review! Now, I already reviewed the Levi Figma, also thanks to Lunar Toys, and I can say without a doubt that these Attack on Titan Figma are really, really well made. They have tons of pieces and they all work really well together, and the articulation and details are really awesome. So here is the figure and here is the information on the bottom. Here's the side, here is the other side, and the back. Here's all the pictures of the figure, and here is all the information. We also have the top side and the bottom side. The Shingeki no Kyojin Figma they all have really big boxes to accommodate all the maneuver gear and cloaks. They all come with like a lot of pieces, so they're really awesome. There's the inside of the box, and here is the figure. Alright, so here's Mikasa. Let me just take off the plastic, and there she is. Right off the bat, she looks freaking awesome. You can see her detailed and well-painted face, her scarf here, and her Survey Corps jacket. Lots and lots of use of soft PVC. Down to her legs and her boots, and here is her back. And now you can see the Survey Corps logo. And the paint job is really well done. Like, it's pretty much perfect. She even has little tiny buttons, all those little buckles and everything. Really well done. So let's check out the articulation on her. Head goes a little bit up, and it goes a little down. Not too much, but I suppose enough for what you need. Goes side to side, and of course it can turn all the way around. Her arms, they don't go very far up, but if you rotate them in the socket, you can get them as high as that. You can move it forward. I don't think it really goes much more around than that though. We also have a 360 spin. She bends at the elbow quite well. And we also have rotation at that joint too. And of course we have the new standard Figma wrist joints. So those pretty much go wherever you need them to go. Here you can see where we have the split for her crunch. She doesn't actually go forward very much. She goes back pretty well. But we also have the joint at the waist here. So she can come as far forward and not too far back. Oh, and I should point out she's got really good twist, well 360 twist, and her hips, they actually don't really twist much. Her legs, well, they come off, first of all. Her legs can come about that far before they come off. And then luckily we have the soft PVC at the little skirt part there, so we can really bring her leg back as well. We have some swivel at the joint here, and we have some swivel at the knee. Oh, actually, at this top belt here, we have a cut, so we can actually swivel it there too. So you could probably just get it to whichever direction you need to go with those 3 different swivels in there. Her knee bends as far forward and very far back. And as far as her feet, they come as far forward and back, and we also have the toe bend. Doesn't seem like we have a bit of swivel, which is good. And then of course we have rotation. You could probably get it all the way around. Yeah, it goes all the way around if you need it to do that. So forward and back. So the feet are pretty good. Alright, now that we have a look at the articulation, we can take a look at the pieces. So it comes with this bottom tray, oops, and this top tray. So let's take a look at these little pieces here first. We have her kawaii desuyo face. Yes, so she's very intense in this one. And then we also have this like wounded sort of expression. I like how they even put the pink color on her lips, which they don't usually do on most of the Figma females. So we also have her collar, so you can replace it if you want to take off her scarf, you can put the collar there instead. We also have the poof clouds, and I'm pretty sure those come with all of the Attack on Titan Figma, including the 3D maneuver gear and the two blades. They're both the same, so I'll just show you this one. Really well sculpted, tiny little mechanics in there. So these are very cool. Then we have the second one. And here are all of our standard goodies and some new goodies. So, as always, the Figma baggie, the stand, base, and rack of hands, which I'll show you in 1 second. And then for the Shingeki no Kyojin Figma, they also come with this wire or string. And this string too with these little clips if you want to have them actually hanging with their 3D maneuver gear. And of course, we have the instructions. Quite a lot of them too. So there we have that, and on the other side, we have even more. Of course, this isn't my first rodeo, so don't really need those. This is actually my, whoops, it's actually my third time doing a Shingeki no Kyojin Figma, because we've already done Armin and Levi, so that only leaves Eren. So we have the usual stand, the usual base, and the usual rack of hands. So we have a trigger gripping hand, another gripping hand here, a flat palm, and open palm. And they are exactly the same for the left hand. Like how Mikasa is just like over here, like derping around. We also have these pieces, another set of standards for these Shingeki no Kyojin Figma. So we have the cloak, and I'm not sure if the sculpt is the same for all of them, but it kind of seems like it. We have the Survey Corps logo here, again painted very well, and this is soft PVC. We have the little 3DM poofter cloud. And then we have the two shooty clamp. I never display mine with these. They're cool, but they're also really fragile and long and kind of in the way, so cool, but I don't much care to use them. Last time I think I even forgot to show how to put these in. We did in the Armin video though, so I'll go ahead and show you that again right now. So I'll go ahead and set Mikasa up on her stand. This one is really hard to get in. She doesn't want to go. There we go. That one was tricky. She didn't want to go in. And I'll go ahead and post it in this first, but oh well. Give her her 3D move here. This stuff is always such a pain to get on. So once I do get it on, I tend to like to leave it on. So connect this to the back here. And these actually have tiny little ball joints. You can see right there. And those connect to her leg right here. And then this other side. Oh no, it came out. Put your hands up, Mikasa. Wave your hands in the air like you just don't care, because I need them out of the way so I can get this goddamn 3D maneuver gear on here. And I got it in. She looks so triumphant. That wasn't even on purpose. She's just like, fuck yeah, I did it. So last time I mistakenly put these in the little shooter holes, and a couple people actually corrected me. They're supposed to go under her jacket, right in that little hole there. It's a little tricky to see, but yeah, they actually go in that hole there if you want to keep them out of the way. But generally, I like to display these with their blades in hand, and that's where they connect at the loose end. So let's try that right now. Mikasa, you're so happy. She's like, I did. So as you can see, her fingers there are lined up with the two little trigger holes. So, always impressed by the amazing tiny detail that Good Smile is capable of. Because, I mean, those holes are so tiny. They're itty bitty, so always very awesome. And then we have these. I already have the other ones set up. They are very tricky to work with. Well, most pieces in this set are tricky to work with. So, as you can see, you just stick that one in there, and then this one goes on the side like this. And I don't know if it'll line up perfectly, but you will definitely get the gist of it. And then, of course, you have these here, and those just plug into the back of the blades right there. And the same for the other one, right here. Nice snug fit. And you can pose her like she's gonna soar off into action. Oh, and then her leg came off. Oh no! But you... This is leg man, but you get the gist of it. Yeah, there you go. So have her set up with those. But I personally prefer to have these displayed without. So I'll go ahead and carefully take those out. Also, I should mention, when you're putting these in, don't push them in all the way. Put them in just enough so that they'll stay, because they are very hard to pull out when you push them all the way in, and it's your chance of breaking them when you're trying to yank them out is a lot higher. So do be very careful with that. Alright, next I'll show you how to put her collar on instead of her scarf. So their heads do pop off. Always check the instructions to make sure that the Figma head can come off, because for some Figma, like Mika 2.0, they do not come off. So her scarf just pops off like that. Oh, also, I forgot to mention when I was showing the articulation, but the neck piece is also articulated, which I wish they did in more Figma, because it really heightens the realism when you're trying to pose their faces and necks and all that. So I really like that they do in this one. So let's have her doing her salute pose. So I'll go ahead and take off these swords for now, and take off these little poof clouds because we don't need those anymore. And we can actually give her back her fists here. There you can see the tiny little wrist joint. And it does matter which way you put the fist onto the joint, because it only pivots one way. And these are always tricky for me because they're just so small and you kind of have to just jam them on there. Alright, so I got her in this sort of, well, awkward salute because the 3D maneuver gear sort of gets in the way and impedes movement in the back. And so does the Figma stand, so that's why I took it off. Oh, also, I didn't want to put her hand back on, it fell off. And I was just like, nope. Alright, so why don't we take this off and put on her cape. You can put her scarf back on too. And luckily, like, the entire jacket piece is soft. It's really cool because even around the collar, you can just tuck the scarf down in there and it works really well. While I have her head off, I'm actually going to go ahead and switch out her faceplate. So here's her neutral face, and I'll replace it with her battle face here, and put her bangs back on. And place her head. So as you can see, it has this tab back here, and that just lines up with the hole in her back, and you can put her on her Figma stand, and it's all magically flowing in the wind. I kind of wish that this tab was a separate piece though, that you can add if you want it flowing. That way you can have the option to just have it sort of resting on her back and not so windswept. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and replace her hands again with the swords. And then this piece came off again. See, this is what makes it difficult. Like, once you get one piece, another piece falls out of place and you gotta fix that one, and it's just a vicious cycle. But once you do get them set up the way you want them, they are badass. So here we have her set up with her swords and her angry face, and she's looking quite intimidating. So we still have another accessory piece to try out, which is the poof cloud here. Again, I prefer not to display her with it, but some people might, so I'll show you how you can do that. It attaches right here where this little cap is, and it actually, this one comes out There we go. And you can just replace this right in there. You can actually plug this into the back here, and I took off the extender piece because I think it's going to make things easier. And you can actually have her displayed like this. However, my joint on my Figma stand is not strong enough to hold it this way, so it would have to be going like up to get it to stay, which does not really make much sense. Hopefully yours is stronger than mine, because it won't stay like this. Well, I guess you can play around with it to get it to stay, because that seems to work well enough. I do hear though that if you keep it displayed this way after time, it will warp your pieces. And don't forget to replace the cap back on the back of the 3D maneuver gear. And of course we still have one more faceplate. So let's give that one a try, and then we can start to wrap things up. So we still have that defeated face. You just replace your bangs, and there we go. So I will do one more pose, and then I'll come back for some final words. Alright, here's my final pose, and it took forever to do. Not surprisingly. Very much so the getting one thing right and then trying to fix another, and then the chain reaction of things going wrong from there. But I finally got her in this sweet, badass pose, and I am happy with it. So, what I have to say about this one is pretty much what I have to say for all of these Shingeki no Kyojin Figma, and that is that they are really awesome. They're really well made. Everything works out really well, except for the fact that it can be really hard to put together. But that's just one thing that you kind of have to deal with, and there's really not any getting around it, so. Just like with Armin and Levi, I am quite happy with this one, and I think she turned out really great. And I want to give another thank you to Lunar Toys for supplying this figure so that I can review for you guys. Again, if you want to get this one for yourself, I will leave a link in the description to their shop where you can pick it up. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. As always, if you want to see more unboxings and other such coolness, please feel free to subscribe. That way you can be notified of any videos in the future. Until next time, guys, Anime Box out. She looks so triumphant. That wasn't even on purpose. She's just like, fuck yeah, I did it.